I trust you guys had a nice weekend. Yes? Okay. No? Easy? I had a nice weekend. So, y'all still got your naming compound sheet? Yes? Did you guys check your Canvas messages last week? I sent a message Thursday telling y'all that for lab this week there is a pre-lab for you to do. Does anybody need me to talk about that now? Everybody saw that, I assume, if you're not saying anything. You saw it. So y'all have lab Wednesday at 12:30. That pre-lab comes from the lab manual. You turn that in at the beginning of lab, okay? It's due at 12:30. It's a density thing, which y'all should be pretty good with. We did density in chapter 1, but there's some information in the lab manual that might help you. You've got a graph, etc. Okay? So, any questions on that? Has anybody done it already? I mean, I didn't think so. I was just checking. What do we need to go over? Because last time we named ionic compounds and we wrote formulas. Last time we were doing this, yeah? And then we did molecular compounds, this. And I told y'all that the answers were on Canvas. Did y'all finish the sheets? Do I need to tell you the answers? Where are we on that? Because I know we hadn't finished. We got to do the last page. You're proofing it now? Okay. Okay, so anything I need to go over as far as ionic or any of that? Or molecular? Y'all feel good? Okay. Let's go over then on the last page how to do these. The last page, so this will be new stuff. It's acids. What do you guys know? What do y'all know about an acid?
pH 1 through 7.
Okay, acids have a pH of 1 through 7. Anything else?
They taste sour.
They taste sour. Yeah, what kind of foods? Is it okay to eat acids?
Citric acid.
Citric acid, yeah, and citrus fruits. What other kind of foods are acid foods? Tomatoes? Who said that? Yes. Tomatoes? Or anything made with tomatoes? Soda. Mm-hmm. Okay. Do y'all know what acid's in your stomach? Just out of curiosity, stomach acids? Anybody know what that is? Okay, stomach acid is hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid in your stomach, y'all remember from biology, your stomach has a special kind of cells that mean the hydrochloric acid in your stomach don't harm your stomach. Like if you got hydrochloric acid on your skin, it's going to burn. But it's in your stomach, and it's okay. Do y'all remember what those cells are? It starts with a P. Who? I don't think parietal? No. Y'all have heard that before? Really? Could it be you've heard it but just forgot it? Okay, fair enough. Maybe that's it. Okay, so let's talk about naming acids. Y'all, there's two different classes of acids to name. One, I'm going to try to fit it all here on this slide, okay? One I call a monoatomic acid. And here's something that I didn't ask y'all. I mean, you said pH of 1 to 7 and you named some foods. Do y'all know, like, a chemical formula of an acid? Do y'all know what that looks like? Like NaCl, that's not an acid, right? That's table salt. Do you know what the chemical formulas of acids have in them? Okay. Hydrogen, yes. Acids have a hydrogen. And hydrogen's a +1 charge. Y'all would know that. Why? Because it's in group 1. It has a +1 charge. Okay, so acids, the formulas for now are going to all start with H+. Does that mean that everything that has an H in it is an acid? No, not necessarily, okay? So monoatomic acids, what does monoatomic mean? Single atom. So a monoatomic acid is an H with one other atom, okay? And we're going to swap and drop on these. So a monoatomic acid's formula might look like HX. If H was +1 and X was -1, it would be HX. If H was +1 and X was -2, it would be H2X. If H was +1 and X was -3, it would be, if the X was -3, yeah, it would be H3X, okay? The way you name a monoatomic acid is always like this. Hydro blank ic acid. Hydro, and then you got to fill in the blank, and it's going to end in ic acid. Now, what goes in the blank is the name of what the X is. Okay? For example, if I made an acid and I put an H in front of a Cl. Guys, Cl, what's the name of Cl?
Chlorine.
Chlorine. What charge does it have?
-1.
-1. How do you know it has -1? Group 17. Okay, so what's the formula of an H with a Cl? Do y'all see that it's just HCl? H is +1. Am I standing right in front of it? Cl's -1. So how do you name that? Hydrochloric acid, which is what we were saying is stomach acid. Hydrochloric acid, plain and simple. Okay? So, that's one group of acids. I'm only going to use that one as an example. The other class of acids might be called polyatomic acids, or acids formed from polyatomic ions, or sometimes they are also referred to as oxoacids. And we've talked about this, and I gave y'all last week a list of polyatomic ions. The polyatomic ions always have what atom incorporated into them? It's always more than one, but there's always some oxygens, right? And so like if it's nitrate, then we can tell from the name, okay, it's nitrogen and some oxygens, right? So they're called oxoacids. Do you see where that's coming from? Because it might come from nitrate. So the way polyatomic acids work, or oxoacids, y'all, polyatomic ions, some of them end in -ate, and some of them end in -ite. Okay? How you name the acid depends on how the polyatomic ion is named. For example, if the polyatomic ion ends in -ate, then the acid, the -ate, is going to be changed to an ic. Changes to ic, and you name it ic acid. Okay, let me explain. Name a polyatomic ion that ends in -ate.
Chlorate.
Chlorate. What's the formula for chlorate?
ClO3
ClO3 with a -1. Yes? Okay. Chlorate. Put an H plus with that and swap and drop it. What's the formula going to be? HClO3? Because we're swapping and dropping the charges, right? We don't move the subscript over. Yes? HClO3? Are you with me on that? Or are some of y'all just looking at it saying that makes no sense, but okay, I'll just let her keep talking. You good? Yes. Put an H plus with this. A +1 H and a -1 chlorate. When they come together, they're going to neutralize each other, right? This is +1, this is -1. It's just HClO3. Okay? Now, what's the name of this going to be? If this is chlorate right here, then what's the name of this acid going to be? Chloric acid. You can't put a hydro in front of it. Look at what's in my box. When there's hydro in front of it, y'all, that's telling you it's H and one other element. Okay? When there's not a hydro in front of it, like right here, That's telling you it comes from a polyatomic ion. The word acid tells you it has a hydrogen on it. So kind of, you can think of it like this. On the polyatomic ions, you're not naming the H, but it's there. Okay? And that's how you're going to distinguish them as to whether they start with hydro or not. Now, since we did chlorate, for the ite, let's do chlorite. Okay? Without even writing the formula, oh, I hadn't even told y'all the answer. The ite changes to, does anybody know? OUS. Us, OUS. So if we're starting with chlorite, then I think right now you can tell me what the name of the acid is. Yes? What's the name of the acid? Chlorous acid. To come up with the formula, we've got to work through here. What is chlorite? What does that polyatomic ion look like? ClO2 with a -1 charge. Put an H plus with that, swap and drop. What's the formula of chlorous acid? HClO2. Make sense? Okay. Look at your sheet, the back sheet, right, that says write formulas for the following acids. Everybody still have that? The first one on your sheet, it names sulfuric acid. Looking at your notes on your paper or looking up here, when it names sulfuric acid, do you guys see, okay, that's a polyatomic acid because it doesn't start with hydro. Okay? So it says sulfuric acid, that's right here. It acid. Sulfuric acid came from what polyatomic ion?
Sulfate.
Sulfate. Are we doing an okay pace here on thinking through and walking? Okay, so sulfuric acid came from sulfate. What is sulfate ion? What does that look like?
So 4 negative?
Yes, sulfate is SO4 with a -2 charge. So now I'm ready to write sulfuric acid. What do I have to put in front of sulfate?
H2.
I got to put an H in front of it and swap and drop. So do you guys see that sulfuric acid will be H2SO4? Okay? Or walk through it again? One more time. Okay. So, starting fresh, okay? Look at your sheet. Sulfuric. When I'm looking at how I name stuff, the name doesn't start with hydro, so I know it's a polyatomic ion. If the acid is named sulfuric acid right here, ic came from 8. So sulfuric acid came from sulfate. So I've walked myself back to there, sulfate. Then I have to remember what is the formula for sulfate. SO4 with a -2. I have to put a hydrogen ion in front of that. Hydrogen ion has a +1 charge. So I taught y'all to swap and drop. Yeah? But it's going to take 2 hydrogen ions with a +1 charge to balance out the 1 sulfate with a -2 charge. That's sulfuric acid. Okay? Pretend I didn't use the next one as an example. Okay? So I'm looking at my notes. It says hydrochloric acid. Okay, hydro is H and one other element. Plain and easy. What is the other element in number 2? Hydrochloric acid.
Chlorine.
Has to be the chlorine. How do you know what charge it is? Periodic table. Group 17. Has to be -1. So hydrochloric acid's HCl. How about it?
I have a question. This may be a dumb question, but like for the polyatomic ions that we like memorize, are the charges always going to go with like the first element? or is that just sometimes it happens that way? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like how
Okay.
chlorate has a -1 charge. Does
No, because look at nitrate.
Okay, so you just have to. Okay.
You just have to know them. Yeah. There's, when I learned polyatomic ions, like I started with grouping them, like all the ones that have 3 subscript, and then I had to group them by, okay, all the ones that have a -2 charge. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's
Okay.
memorizing. Okay? Y'all keep going with this sheet. Let me say this. Number 6. Is that on your sheet? Maybe it is.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
Never mind. Y'all just work the acids page. Y'all go for it. Okay, I think enough time has elapsed that y'all have got nitrous acid done. Who wants to tell me what the answer is for nitrous?
HNO2.
Correct. HNO2. Yes or no? No means I didn't get it. Explain it. Good? Okay, let's go over the names of a few more, or formulas rather. Are y'all doing? Are you doing? You're making progress. Huh? Okay, you might have an old sheet too. On number 6, can I see, you have your polyatomic ion sheet maybe? Because I have an old one, but I gave it to him. Okay, what's number 4? Correct, H3PO4? No, I thought it was too. No, that's not what I did. You know what? I don't think you were doing it. Okay. Phosphoric, y'all got it, H3PO4. Okay. Y'all, if you miss it, I mean, yeah, you're going to correct it. But you got to know why you're correcting it. Doesn't do any good if you just change it because I say so. You have to understand why. So if you don't know what's going on, you need to speak up. Hydrosulfuric, give me the formula. H2S. Selenous acid. H2SeO3. Nitric acid. HNO3. Sulfurous acid. Look at it. I heard H2SO3. Us comes from it. Okay. Hydrofluoric acid. HF. Carbonic. H2CO3. How are we doing? Have I caught up to you where you had worked, or where are we? Caught up to you, or keep going? Keep going? Okay. Perchloric? HClO4. Hypochlorous. Hey, does that say hydro? No, it's not a typo. Right? Hypochlorous is from a polyatomic ion. What's the name of the polyatomic ion? Hypochlorite, because it ends in us. Us is ite. So hypochlorous acid is HClO. How'd you do? Good. It's fresh, right? We're doing good. We got our notes. How do we do it on Wednesday? We just do it, right? We just know it. What's Wednesday? Test. Okay, Ashley?
Are there practice problems for like, chapter 2?
Yes. End of chapter?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna give y'all some. I have it on my post-it to give y'all end of chapter. So look, here's what I would do. I would work this sheet again without using my notes, okay? You have it in your Canvas messages. You can print you another one, or you can just cover this up and work it again, right? I mean, it's not rocket science figuring out how to do it again. That's what I would do to practice. Okay, y'all take just a second and work on naming them. Or have y'all done that already? Where are you? I see a lot of y'all. I can see some of y'all have already worked that. Do I need to give some of y'all a minute? Okay, let's pause a minute then. And let's just be sure we're doing it right. What's number 13? Yeah, hydroselenic acid. Mm-hmm. Nitric acid for 14. Hydrobromic acid for 15. Yep, phosphoric acid for 16. Uh-huh, 17, sulfuric acid. 18, yep, carbonic. Keep going, 19. Hydrofluoric. Do y'all know how to spell fluorine? Do you? Did I spell it right? Y'all knew it was UO and not OU? Okay, just checking. All right, 20. Oh, are y'all having to fix it?
I had to fix one.
Hydrochloric. You weren't the only one. You're just the only one I saw. 21. Who? Chlorus. Because what would chloric be? I'm going to pick on you, Gibson, because I heard you say chloric. Because you were being bold with your answers. If what was chloric, what would that formula be? Anybody? This is chlorus, HClO2. What would chloric look like? It'd have to come from what? There you go, HClO3. Good. How about it? Okay. That completes your material for your test. Okay? So, end of chapter. I gave y'all last week end of chapter 1 problems. So let me give you some end of chapter 2. Yeah. These begin on page 76. They are numbers 21, 23, 25, 37, 55, 57, 59, 61, 63, 75, 99, 117. Again, they're all odd numbers, so the answers are in the book. Have y'all started working chapter 1 into chapter? I would hope you have already. Okay? I would hope you started working those already. That's all the material for your test. So let's talk about the format of the test. It's your first test to take in chemistry. First test to take of mine. So, test 1 covers chapters 1 and 2. I'm going to tell y'all a lot of stuff that I think is important to tell you, and then I'm going to let you guys ask whatever you want about the test. Okay, the test is going to be multiple choice, some, and some short answer. Multiple choice, you have to bring your own Scantron for that part. Did y'all know that? Okay, you have to go to the bookstore and you can buy a pack of Scantrons for $1 and something, or help me out. What is it?
It's like $1.50.
$1.50 and it gets 6 of them.
Mm-hmm.
or so, okay? So you got to bring your own Scantron. You'll have to buy it, or I don't give multiple choice, but like this test is multiple choice and one of other, okay? A lot of my tests are work it out, but this one's multiple choice because there's just so much stuff, okay? So you're looking at, y'all, probably less than 25 multiple choice questions, okay?
That's what's up.
Not a ton. That's a who?
That's what's up.
That's what's up. Okay. Now, I'm not going to give you a number for short answer because it's a little misleading. Okay. There's actually there's fewer than 10 short answer, but one of them's going to say name and write formulas for these acids. And there might be like 8 acids. Okay. So I don't want to tell you that's 8. I don't want to tell you there's 40 short answer because you'll freak out. It's not. Like name and write the formulas for these ionic, and there might be 10 of those. Okay, so it's multiple parts.
And we'll write that on the test itself.
Yes, you get to write on the whole test.
Okay.
Y'all have probably in college taken a test that was multiple choice, and you had to turn the test in when you were done because the teacher is going to use it for another class. No, this is going to be your test. You can write all multiple choice stuff on there. You write all short answer. Nobody else gets that test except you. Okay? So write your stuff on your test. I will give you a periodic table, and I handed periodic tables out last week so y'all would know what it's going to look like for the test. I'm going to give you a new one for the test, right? Because hopefully y'all got a lot of stuff written on that. Maybe some of y'all even color-coded it with charges. So I'll give you a new one. You have to have a pencil and a calculator. Can you use a cell phone for a calculator? No. Okay? Now, what questions do y'all have?
Can I have more than one calculator on the test?
Can you have more than one calculator? Yes.
Are you gonna ask questions how you did on the connects? Or
Yes. Okay. What do you mean?
like the conversion problems that are on there?
There will be conversions on the test. Yes. Remember that fluorine problem on Connect? Emma just dropped her pencil. Y'all remember it? Okay. If you can do that, you're fine on the test. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Fluoridation of the water? Okay? If you could do that, I promise you'll be fine on the test. What I'm telling you is it's not going to be that many steps for mine. Okay? Okay? Let me say some more stuff. I just want y'all to know what it's like when you do a test in here. You can ask me questions during the test. I prefer that you raise your hand and let me come to you because I was one of those people that when I'm working on something and somebody's loud, I just want to wring their neck. I just need quiet, okay? So you'll raise your hand and I'll come to you and you might say, I have forgotten what the polyatomic ion sulfate is. And I'm going to say, that's too bad. You should remember that, okay? I will not embarrass you. I might just say, that's something I need you to know, okay? You might have a problem that's got like a density and a volume, and I come over there and you just say, I'm stuck. And I might say, do you know a density formula? I'm not going to give you an answer, but I'm going to ask you a question, okay? So do not hesitate to ask during the test. I promise I won't embarrass you, okay, unless you're just doing something blatantly wrong. You cannot have stuff programmed into your graphing calculator, okay? I am very aware that graphing calculators have a lot of abilities. They've got periodic tables in them, etc. Please don't ever think that Miss Tara doesn't know what's going on. I promise she does. And if I see any kind of helps like that being used, you will get a 0. Okay? I won't embarrass you unless it's just an embarrassment. I won't tell the whole class, but I will give you a 0. Okay? And I don't want to have to do that. So don't cheat. You can't have headphones, all that kind of stuff. Okay? Integrity. Yes? You'll come in Wednesday. You'll take the test. When you're done, you'll turn it in and you'll go. And then y'all will come back at 12:30 for lab. How are you gonna study? Work problems? Okay, Ashley, I think an all-nighter, I think that's just a horrible idea. Okay, I really do. Do y'all still do that? Okay, I think that's a horrible idea. I think the best thing is that y'all have already started studying. You've already worked some of your chapter 1. And the night before the test, you might kind of brush up, but you're good. That's best, okay? Go ahead and do it the way you're always going to do it, and then years later you can say, "God, Miss Hurt was right. I should have." Work problems. That's how you study. You do not study for a chemistry test by reading your notes, okay? If that's how you choose to do it, that's fine. That's not how I would do it, okay? Now, who's going to make an A? Huh?
So that's not a promise I can make.
It's not the promise?
It's not a promise I can make.
No. Who plans to make an A? Oh, that's how I should ask that question. Did you not raise your hand?
No, I didn't.
Okay. What questions do y'all have? Anything? Chloe.
You know what, like, the majority of the multiple choice are gonna be?
What's the majority of the multiple choice going to be? Y'all, test 1 is a hodgepodge of everything, right? I mean, we started with like homogeneous, heterogeneous element compound. You know, then we went to like solid, liquid, gas, evaporation, and boiling temperatures and physical change. I mean, it is a hodgepodge of everything. So I try to do a little bit of something of everything. How many of y'all had a good high school background? High school chemistry, like solid? That's helping a lot for test 1. It really is, if you had a good. How many of y'all can, like my high school background was horrible. Anybody? Okay. And that's hurting right now, I know. Tutoring centers available. How many of y'all have used that already? Yeah, because I met you going in there last week. Okay, so they're available. I mean, I'm in class the rest of the day today and a lot of tomorrow, but you're welcome to stop by and ask me stuff anytime. Okay?